This is Fjordur, and I have 100 days to beat it in medieval times. And throughout this video, I've set myself a few challenges. First of all being, I want to be able to explore all the new caves in the game and bring you along with me, but try to die as little as possible. But one thing that I will be taming in this 100 days is one of these guys, an Andrew such as. There is no way I'm not. And on top of that, a Desmodus as well, the Bat. I'm going to be taming many of these, believe me. And my final challenge, take down all 6 mini-bosses, and finally after killing them, take down Fenrir, receiving my own Fenrir dinosaur. And this, my friends, is Fjordur Medieval Times. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, it helps out a lot. On day 1, I found myself waking up again. This time, I was in some deserted woods. There was nothing around me. I'm not too sure where I am, but you know what they say? If you're lost, try to find the beach. So that's what I did. I wandered around and eventually found the beach, and well, I found these little barrels, you see. And these things, well, they give you loot. I got scrap metal from this one, but from this one I got myself some tools. I got a metal hatchet and a metal pickaxe. These, I used them to harvest the rest of the crates, in which I got some pretty awesome things, including a crossbow. I then found this little dodo along the beach, and well, I killed him, and I got cake slices. Yo, what do I do with these? Anyway, regardless, I then found a Dilophosaur, in which I killed and harvested for hide, since I could not harvest the dodo. Anyway, I then found myself getting attacked by an IKUGEE, or whatever you call them. They're very annoying. Extremely annoying. Little pests. They just don't leave you alone. They just try to steal all your loot and chase after you, and it is very hard to kill them. And to make matters worse, well, I'm dying to the cold. You know, it's not good at all. And then after escaping, well, I got in a fight with a Dilophosaur because he called me a name, and well, I died. Not cool, my dude. But nighttime started to fall in, so I found a little place where I could put my little sleeping pillow, and I headed to sleep for the night. And I woke up the next day, you know, all happy and jolly. I was ready for the day. I went and found a dodo and killed him, harvested him for his hide because I wanted to make myself some hide armor, of course. And then I got myself some fiber. And on top of that, well, I killed a few more dodos and caused a bit of a massacre. Yeah, I was not feeling friendly today. And then I met my match. A Dillo tried to run at me and kill me. I had broken bones. But I managed to kill him, and I checked around to see if there was any other enemies in the vicinity. But we were clear, until I got jumped by raptors. I then returned, and they were just sat on my body, just camping it. I could not get my loot. But then they started chasing after a Gallop-Myers, so, you know, I swooped in, grabbed my loot, and, you know, I ran. I dip potato chip, and got the hell out of there. And then I found some little river. It was kind of, like, cute, you know? There's some little pig-looking things that are very interesting. And then there's some little red orb. So I picked it up, and it turned out to be an explorer note. I then used this opportunity to get myself some extra levels and started crafting myself cooking pots. As you know, these give a lot of experience, and I got myself up to level 40 by the end of the day. No, good day. We're up to level 40 now, and I made myself a campfire and a pillow, and off we went to sleep. On day 3, I woke up looking strange. I looked like a Karen almost. This is it's very scary. So I made myself a flint hair thing, and well, I changed my hair. Look better now. But we need to try and make our way back to the beach, because we need to try and get a boat and go exploring. So first I made myself some arrows, and then I went on to make myself a mortar and pestle, which I would use to make myself narcotics and trank arrows, because I wanted to tame a PT. And then I went to sleep for the night. On day 4, I woke up and made myself some trank arrows, and then I hit some trees and harvested myself some thatch. Then made myself some bowlers to protect myself again, and then I found a PT. So I bowled him and began knocking him out, because, well, you know, so I need a PT, right? There's no reason behind it. And then I made myself a boat, which surprisingly looked pretty cool. Also, this thing's pretty quick. Yeah, this thing is extremely fast and fun to use. But nighttime came around again, so I went to sleep. And on day 5, well, I woke up hidden in a tree, farming and killing a bunch of things, and got myself a bunch of hide and other resources. Then made myself a bigger boat, a galleon, and I spawned it in. I was inside of it. But, hey, look at this thing. This is what I call a boat. You know, those little rafts. Like, what is a raft? This is a boat. This is what I like to drive. But unfortunately, you can't go inside of these doors. But nighttime started to fall in anyway, and on day 6, I made myself a PT saddle. I then moved my PTs that I had tamed onto the boat, and I began breeding them. Got myself my first PT egg. I don't know when I'll actually hatch that, but hey. I then started traveling on my boat. You know, we're going to go on a little journey today. The PTs seem like they're stuck on and not going to go anywhere. So, off we went, exploring the world, and, well, I found this island, and on the island was a dead trike. It's kind of sad, but hey, I harvested him. You know, can't let a dead trike go to waste, and I got myself organic polymer, surprisingly, and spoiled meat, a lot of it. I then found some plant X seeds and another rune, and then I began getting attacked by a bunch of Meganeras. But it wasn't much of a problem, because I just harvested them after anyway for the chitin. But nighttime started to fall in, so I grabbed this final rune and spent the last of my day harvesting organic polymer. On day 7, I started the day by jumping in the ocean. And when I got down there, well, we had a bit of an accident. Oh no, no. Yeah, luckily we survived. We landed in the water. You probably thought I was going to die there, but no. And then I found myself some crystal, which was perfect because I wanted to make myself a spyglass. When I made it back to the surface, I got back on my galleon and we went on a little journey. Yeah, we started traveling the ocean. We spent a full day and night traveling to try find a place to live, and on the way I found some pearls, so I harvested them. Then after that, I found some little island, and it seemed perfect to build on. So I spent the rest of my day just harvesting some resources around the island. Day 9 to day 11, I was flying around and I found myself a castle keep, and it'd be kind of cool to build here. But then I found this monstrosity, ginormous thing of a beaver dam, and I took the loot and I ran away. I came across some Deinonychus nests, which I stole the egg and ran away. And then I found myself some oil, which I harvested up and got plenty of it. I then found myself some metal, so I harvested a bunch of that up and we headed back to the galleon. I placed down a forge and placed in the metal, but I needed wood, so I got myself some wood real quick and I started up the forge. But nighttime started to fall in, so I lit myself a bunch of campfires to keep me nice and warm, and I went to sleep. On day 12, I flew to the red obelisk where I could craft myself cryopods, because without cryopods, well, I'm kind of screwed. And then surprisingly, I found myself some Volanosaurs, which tried to attack me, so I killed them. I then tried to fly inside of a cave, which I quickly realized I could not fly in there. Ow! Yeah, we nearly died to a mantis. These things are very scary, but luckily, we escaped. Yeah, we escaped death. I went home and started harvesting myself some stone and ended the day by making myself a bigger forge. Day 13, I made myself some stone arrows and some trank arrows to be able to knock some things out. And then went and got myself some obsidian because I wanted to make myself a net gun. Day 14 to day 16, I went around farming as much metal as I could. And with a PT, well, this takes a lot of time. You gotta fly back and forth many times. But after a while, I filled up the forge quite a lot. And, well, although it's not a lot, it kind of is a lot. On day 17, I made myself some net projectiles. And then I went out exploring to go tame some things. While doing this, I ended up finding a new creature. A Fjordur. Yeah, I have no idea what this thing is, but it chased me around. It followed me. So I killed some things, and, well, it harvested them. It obviously wanted to eat them. And then it stole the loot bag and ran away. I was very confused. It made no sense to me. But, you know, I killed some more things for him and let him eat them since he liked it. I kept doing this. And then between day 18 and 19, I came up with the idea of making a pen. So I went and picked up wild creatures, dropped them in, and after a while, well, he tamed up. I tamed up a higher level though, and well, I started testing him out, and it turns out that he can actually bring loot to you. Like, it's like playing fetch, so it's, you know, I tested it from further away, and I mean, look at this guy. Look at him go. He is crazy. I named him Hawkeye as well. It seemed pretty good. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It brings loot to you. Then I found myself an Ankylosaurus level 130, so I took it back and netted it down and started tranking him. And after a while of shooting him, I eventually knocked him out. But nighttime started to come in, so I put in the food and went to sleep. On day 21, he tamed up and I made him a saddle. Day 22 to day 23, I found myself a level 145 Doedicurus. So I took him home, I netted him and tranked him out. I then made myself a Doedicurus saddle and waited the rest of the day until he tamed up. And after a while, yeah, he tamed. We got ourselves a Doedicurus. Yeah, look at this guy. Day 24, I started out by placing a crafting table. With this, I can place certain structures that look pretty cool. And then I went out, did some farming, got myself some flint, got myself some stone, and also got myself some berries. I wanted to make myself some more narcotics, so got myself a bunch of berries. With that, I made my narcotics and ended the day there. Between day 55 and day 26, I went out farming drops. And after a while of farming drops, well, I got some pretty cool blueprints, you see. With these, I made myself a crossbow blueprint. It'll make taming a lot easier. And then when exploring, I found a farm. I then stole all the crops from the farm because, well, I can, and because I'm hungry. I'll probably eat them later. And then I came across this metal farming area, which I'll probably come back later and farm. Day 27, I was flying around and I found another beaver dam. You know, I need a lot of cementing paste, so I took the cementing paste and I got out of there. I then found a level 145 Therizinosaur, so I netted him and began knocking him out. I did this for the rest of the day. And on the morning of day 28, I named the Therizinosaur KFC, and I cried him and took him home. I then went out farming with the Yankee, and we farmed up a bunch of metal. And also, the structures that we need to craft for the building, they're pretty much made out of metal. So you have metal, paste, and stone, so we're going to be farming a lot of metal. I ended the day by crafting foundations. Day 29, I then made myself a blood extraction syringe, which for this, I can extract blood from myself and make blood packs. And with that, I can take myself some bats. But meanwhile, I was testing a theory. The Fjordur apparently brings your loot back to your bed, so I killed myself with the syringe, farming blood, and, well, I was nowhere near the base. But somehow, my loot is here, in a bag, so that's pretty cool. But one thing that I do want to know is, what if we went further this time? What if we are across the map? As you see, the green marker is where my house is, and the blue is me. So, we're going to do it again, and see if my loot goes across the map. Moment of truth, and... okay, that is broken. Anyway, nighttime started to fall in, and between day 30 and day 32, I was farming blood packs for the entire 2 days. And from this, I got myself 242 blood packs. So, this should be enough to tame myself a bat. So it's time to go find one. After a bit of research and a bit of searching around, I found this cave. And inside, there's a lot of bats. And as you see, inside there's level 140. But to tame this, well, I'm going to have to net all the others to the floor and kill them. So that's what I did. Yeah, I tried to net these things down. But they just came at me. They wanted to eat me and drink my blood. So I eventually netted them all down and it was good to go. I threw out my Therizino and started chomping them all up. And here we go. We've got our level 140. All we got to do is just let him drink us now. It looks like it's taming. Okay. Ouch. Ouch. And here we go. We've got ourselves our first Desmodus bat. Well, I forgot to make a saddle, so I'll have to go back and make one. On day 33, on the way home, I found this cave. It's like a lunar cave. You come through here and you just fly like this. As I went through the cave, I was greeted with a big entrance into an aberration zone. It seems kind of interesting. It's like a small aberration zone with little portals and separate little rooms. But other than the fact that this place is extremely out of the way, it's a very cool area to visit. But I went home and made myself a bat saddle. And let me tell you, this guy is fast. Yeah, he travels extremely quickly. If I'm honest, I wish I had tamed one of these things sooner. I really do. Very fun to use. Oops. I then went off to go test a theory. If this thing can't fly in caves, I'm very disappointed in this game. But it seemed like we're good. Yeah, it seemed like it can fly in caves, which is definitely cool. I like the fact that it can do that. But I then found some things in here. Black pearls and even this. Oh! Oh! Okay. Level 140, yeah, you gotta take that. And along with that, there's also element down here, so that's pretty nice. On the way out, I tried finding myself some wyvern eggs, but got greeted by a wyvern trying to kill me. Unfortunately, there was no eggs, but I did almost die by the wyvern, so I quickly flew away. And on day 34, I carried on crafting myself some more structures. I crafted as many things as I could with what I had, and with what I didn't have, I had to go farm more of to make what I wanted. And on day 35, I just began clearing the area again. A lot of the things had regrown that I kind of cleared before, but it's fine. I used the Therizino, cleared up things, and used the Dodicarus to get as much stone as I could while I'm at it, since I need it. And on day 36, I began building. I'm just doing this from the top of my head. I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I have literally never seen a build like this before in my life. But hey, we're just going with the flow, right? And it's looking good. On day 38, I spent my entire time basically placing foundations and building the footprint of my base still. This is a long procedure. You know, there's a lot of foundations that I've got to place and also extremely expensive. So whatever I didn't have, I had to go farm to be able to craft what I needed. On day 39 through to day 44, I placed all the walls around my foundations. I also placed all the towers in each corner as well, which are looking pretty good. And inside here is where I'm going to be building my crafting station. There's plenty of room in here. I'll probably ceiling this over just to make it a little bit more I guess, homey. But outside, as you see, it's looking very good. I'm very impressed with it from the front. On day 45, now that my base is built, I went around looking for Rexes. I needed to find myself some Rexes to start going for the bosses. And I found level 168 female Tech Rex with 33 health. So I trapped it in with my Dino Gates and, well, I began knocking him out. This was a long procedure, but after knocking him out and waiting around, it wasn't too long until he had tamed up. But the question was he going to come out of good stats since he had 33 points pre-tame? The answer was no. He came out of 41, which is extremely unlucky. And then I went home and found a problem. I flew into the water while picking and accidentally picked myself with my bat. Yes, let me go! It was a bit silly. I had no idea how to get out of this thing. I was extremely confused. I spent the entire night just hanging here. On day 47, I didn't really do too much except try to play around my bat. I tested out his abilities, which did some screech attack, which I have no idea what it actually does. I don't think it has any purpose at all. Then I repaired my flak for the coming days. On day 48, day 51, I was flying around looking for more Rexes. I found a Rex with 39 health. 39, yeah, that's unreal. So I obviously had to tame it. There was just a no-brainer right there. You know, I knocked it out and had to wait. And after waiting around patiently, we eventually found out its stats, which it came out with 56 health and 40 melee. That is unreal. Probably one of the best Rexes I've ever actually tamed, but hey, I took him home, threw him out, and obviously I wanted to breed him, but unfortunately we didn't have a male, so we're going to have to wait around until we tame one, or we're going to have to tame one pretty damn soon. Day 52 to day 54, I was flying around looking for more Rexes, and I found level 180 male Tech Rex with 33 melee. So I did the obvious and trapped him in with the gates and did the usual of knocking him out. And after a while of shooting him, he eventually knocked out, and all we had to do was wait for him to tame up again. And the moment of truth... Oh my god, 48 melee. It started at 33. It came out at 40. That is really good. Alright, these are the best Rexes ever, honestly. Like, they're perfect for the boss. So I went home that evening and started breeding them. A very important job. Day 55, I spent most of the day looking for crystal. It was extremely hard to find on this map, but maybe I just wasn't looking in the right places. But after a while, I did find it. And I need crystal for my air conditioning units to be able to hatch my Rex eggs. So I farmed up as much crystals as I could, headed back, made a fabricator, and then I was able to make everything else I needed to be able to make my air conditioning units and my electronics. I then headed out and found this cave, because I wanted to have a look what I needed to be able to summon the boss. Now, to summon the boss, I need a Artifact of the Brute, Devour, Pack, and a Steinbourgeon relic. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then I flew out the cave and headed home and, well, to try and figure out what we're going to do. Day 56. I figured out what we're going to do. I made myself some scuba and ghillie, and we're going to head to the swamp cave. But right before we do that, I'm just going to play a bit of fetch with my Fjordur. And after playing with my Fjordur, I went over to the cave and we were ready. Yeah, I started exploring the cave, and it wasn't too long in where I got attacked and got picked. Are you kidding me? Are you... Yo, bro. Yo, put me down. Bro. Really? Oh, my... Ooh! Okay. Alright. Okay, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, no, 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 no. This is not good. This is not good. No. Oh. So I cleared the rest of the cave with the Ferrozenosaur, but we did lose our bat. Kind of sad. But I did get the artifact, so it's okay, I guess. Day 57, I had to go find myself a new bat. Luckily, there was a level 140 in here, so I killed all the ones I didn't want, and I let him pick me, and let him suck my blood dry, until he tamed up. And there we go, we got ourselves a new bat. It's okay. Day 58, I found a Carno. You know, I wanted to get some levels for this guy, so I looted Explorer Note, and then killed a Carno, and got myself some levels. Pretty good. That took an entire day. Day 59, I found a raptor, which I then killed and got some extra levels. Also, got some rune stones, which I'm going to be needing for the boss later. I then found a cave, which inside the cave, well, I can get my next artifact. Except I'm extremely nervous about flying and dying again. I don't want to get picked and dropped in lava. That would not be fun. So I flew through carefully, but realized the artifact was not actually there. So we're going to have to keep coming back and check in throughout the days, and hopefully, like, it spawns. Same in the next cave. It wasn't here either. I then tamed myself an Ichthyosaurus and I headed into the depths of another artifact cave. I was greeted with a little moon pool kind of area, and as I got through the cave, I got my next artifact, Artifact of the Cunning. Day 61. Day 61 was going very well, you know. I was flying through an ice cave. You know, I was trying to find the artifact, and then I tried to find it down here. Yep, it turns out it wasn't down there. So I came back and looted the artifact, got chased by a monkey on the way out, and I'm never going down that cave again. And day 62, I started making my electrical things to be able to make a generator and placed it down. I placed down my air conditioners and started hatching some Rex eggs. Unfortunately, after hatching this many eggs, only 2 of the Rexes actually had good stats. So I claimed them both and, well, it's good because we got a male with all stats. On day 64, I started moving everything from the raft over into the crafting station. I started placing down all my storage boxes and it was looking good. On day 65, well, it was finished. And I got my storage on the left, got my crafting station on the right, and I've got all my lights on the walls. It looks very... I'm not sure what the word is, but it looks very good in here. I like it a lot. And out here, I've got my Rexes. All my Rexes have grown. I've always got my 2 males, so I swapped out the male with the old male. Now we're going to get some perfect stat Rexes and hopefully get some females. That would be very nice. On day 66, I was flying around and I found a level 145 Argentavius, male. So I decided, hey, let's net this thing and knock him out. So that's what I did. Knocked him out and waited for him to tame up, and that's what I did for the day. Then I named him Brah. Day 67, I went and found myself some more bats. And I was trying to find some high levels, and my bats do look quite ugly when they're sat upside down. I found level 130, and I found level 145. And then, yeah. Oh my god, there's so many bats. Oh my word. Oh, this is not good. Why the hell is there so many bats? So, yeah, I got swarmed by literally an army of bats. I don't even know how many there was. Maybe like 8 or 10. There's so many bats I couldn't even keep count. They just kept on flying at me. But after trapping all the bats in the room, I was able to decide which one I wanted to keep, and I found a level 145, which would be perfect. So I let him pick me, and I tamed him up. And we have ourselves a new bat, level 185, so it's pretty good. Day 68 to day 70, I was checking out what I needed for my final artifact. I needed Artifact of the Massive. I then spent the rest of the day hatching my Rex, which came out with perfect stats. It was a male. On day 69, I spent the entire day just farming metal. On day 70, I went around farming drops, and on the way, I found a Rex Apprentice BP with 81 armor. Incredibly cheap. So now we have one task to do. I have to farm as much hide as I can so I can craft all these saddles for my Rexes. And after a long day of farming, I eventually had enough hide, so I called it a day. And then on my way home, I found another drop that had a Uterana saddle in, which is perfect because I'm going to need a UT to be able to buff my Rexes. On day 71, I made myself 2 mine wipes in a cooking pot. This takes an extremely long time. When they were done, I reskilled into full crafting skill and I started crafting my saddles. 19 of them. And they came out with pretty good stats, a lot of them. A lot of them came out with around 100 armor, which for an apprentice saddle is extremely good and very cheap, so I'm very happy. I then spent the rest of day 71 into day 72 looking for my final artifact, and to do this, well, it's got quite a long way. I got to swim through a tunnel, come through a cave, and then into another cave, which is a puzzle. However, this puzzle is no friendly puzzle. There is traps and things that can kill me. So I have to be very careful when making my way through this cave. After running through the beginning of the cave, I made my way down and headed to the left, and I found this area. There's a green, purple, yellow, and blue trophy on the wall, marked with the number 4. I then ran through the cave and I found my first answer to the puzzle. I carried on running through and I found my second answer. Purple 3, green 1. Purple 3, green 1. Purple 3, green 1. Purple 3, green 1. Does that mean that must be 2? That must be 3. That must be 4. No? Oh! Okay, it opened. Alright. I then headed into the next part of the cave, which actually turned out to be another puzzle. I had to remember things again. Yellow being 3, and purple being 2. So that's purple, yellow. And then I found my next one, which is green. Green, purple, yellow. Okay. So, we got green, purple, yellow. That must mean blue is last. That's pretty easy. Alright, alright. Alright, alright. Oh, we got a rune, okay. Artifact of the Massive. Boom. Okay, where do we go? Okay. So, I started to think that I was trapped in here until I was scanning around and I found a button on the wall. I made my way out as the door raised. And when I got home, I had everything. I checked to make sure, and I did. I got everything I need for all the bosses. I then started preparing my Rexes and hatching many more of them. But this time it was going better. We had like a solid breed line going, and now we have 11 Rexes with the perfect stats, so it's looking good. Day 73 and day 74, I was waiting for the Rexes to raise, and in doing so, I decided I may as well upgrade my base in the meantime. So I started placing little things on top of the walls to make them look a lot better, and kind of just a lot cleaner in general, because without them, it looks a bit boring. But now it looks a lot better. I mean, it might look better with an actual ceiling over it, but I'm happy with it as it is, you know? It looks good. And the Rexes are coming along nicely. But one thing we need to do while they're still raising is tame a Fjordurs. So between day 75 and day 76, I was looking around for UTs. I eventually found one at level 140. It was a bit annoying, he kept knocking me down the hill, but I used bear traps to trap him. I trapped him in the bear traps and I started tranking him out while he was in them. It was working quite well, and eventually I knocked him out. I then spent the rest of the day waiting around for him to tame up, and he eventually did. Day 77 to day 81, I began the time renaming all my Rexes. All of them to do with Marvel, Spider-Rex, Iron Man, and so on. I then had to wait for them all to get some passive experience so I could level them up a bit into health and melee. And this took a bit of time, and I also had to wait for them to heal up afterwards. On day 82, the Rexes were finished healing, and we were ready for our first boss fight. So we headed over to the cave where all the portals are, and I was introduced to a room of 3 portals. And firstly, we're going to start out with Jotunheim. So I started out the portal for Jotunheim, and off we went. I had to try to find the entrance to the cave, which I kind of had no idea was, but after eventually finding it, I started throwing out my Rexes and lining them up. And then I was ready to summon the boss, Steinjworn. And it turns out he looks like a bear. A big bear. But, you know, we better get on our Fjordurs. So I sat in the back while the Rexes did all the work. It was easy. You know, I stayed in the back, let them do all the work, and it was as simple as that. The fight was extremely long, but after a while, we did actually manage to kill them. And he didn't really do too much to my Rexes, so my Rexes were about half health. But yeah, I cryoed up my Rexes, and here we go. It was Steinborn. It's like a big stone ice bear. But here we go. Here's the reward. We got our element and our relic, the important thing that we needed. Day 84, I headed over to fight my next small boss, Hattie and Skull. So I started throwing out my Rexes and preparing for the fight, and I summoned them in. I sat back on my UT as normal and let my Rexes do the job, and they absolutely destroyed them. Hattie and Skull, no chance. I got my relics, and it was happy days. Also got a few pretty cool blueprints along the way, but, you know, it's the relics that matter. I then headed over to my next boss fight, which seemed like it was going to be a bee, since we're in a massive honey cave. So I threw out my Rexes, prepared for the fight, and started it. And my guess was right. Yeah, Baylor. There's a massive bee, a giant bee. And I sat back on my UT and let my Rexes do all the work, and they absolutely destroyed it. I got myself my final relic, and we headed home to prepare for the next bosses. I repaired my flak and got ready. And then I went to sleep. On day 85, I started out throwing all my Rexes, preparing for the boss fight. And well, this is going to be the monkey, so it's going to be kind of hard. But it's not going to be hard as the dragon, which I've left for last. Well, let's do this. Okay, right, let's organize this. Okay, are we all here? We all here? Okay, there's one guy in the back there. Excuse me, sir, what are you doing? That's a good boy. Are you coming? Okay, alright, alright, we're good, we're good. Let's do this. Alright. Oh my goodness. He's trying to throw a rock at me. That was not very friendly. Whistle him to attack the boss. Okay. I need to like kind of get behind them and buff them a little bit. Why are they all following me? Oh my god. The boss is already half health. Oh my wow. What? My Rexes are destroying him. They're doing so much damage to him. Okay, that was extremely easy. On day 86, I began doing my next boss, the Broodmother. Now, Broodmothers are always pretty easy. It's not too bad. And I was right. My Rexes took care of Broodmother pretty damn easy, and well, it didn't take long to kill her. Monkey actually may have been easier, but I'm not too sure. But after we killed her, I got my next trophy. I got some element and also got some tech engrams, so it was pretty nice. And when I got home, I put my stuff in the chest, and we only need one more trophy to start the main boss. I then placed my flags on the building, which looked a lot better. It gives it more color. I like it. I then went into the redwood cave, and I got swarmed by a bunch of meganers. Yeah, I needed honey to go tame something, and to do so I had to come in here, and I got absolutely battered by these meganers. I actually thought I was going to die to them at one point. But one thing that was good is I did get a ton of blood packs, so it was not all bad. But after clearing them, I got myself some honey, and then I headed home on day 87, and I went to Asgard. And in Asgard, I spent the next 2 days from day 87 to day 89 looking for an Ardenschlaschlus, and I found a level 140. You know, I got on this guy and started riding him, and I had to control which direction he was going, and go in the same direction as him. So I did it. I carried on doing it, but sometimes he kicks you off and kicks you in the face. Not very nice. After a while of doing this and getting kicked in the head a couple of times, I eventually managed to tame him up. And there we have it. Got ourselves an Andrews Watches. Whatever that is. Yeah, and I don't know how to say it, okay? On day 91, I made myself a saddle for the Andrews Watchers. And, I mean, this thing's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty badass saddle. I mean, you can't actually see the player inside of the saddle. But this thing, you can speed boost, you can power slide, you can kick people in the face behind you that you don't like. And you can even chase people down with the turret. It's pretty fun, especially if you're playing PvP. That'd be interesting to use. And also, the jump is extremely weird. Day 91 to day 92, I went around looking for the dragon boss arena. I eventually found it inside of a cave, and in here I threw out all my dinosaurs preparing for the boss. And after you were ready, well, I got prepared and I started the boss fight. Our final boss before the main boss, and well, we entered the arena. And this place is something else. There's like fortress walls. It's wicked. Yeah, I think this dragon has destroyed an old fortress, an old ancient fortress, and now he's shooting fireballs down on me, which is not very nice. Oh, we got to take him down. So I buffed up my Rexes. I carried on buffing them, and the Rexes did a pretty damn good job. They destroyed him. I mean, look at that health on the left. Look at it go down. 160k, 150k, 140k, 120, 100k. Yeah, my Rexes are just doing work on this guy. And there we have it. We took down the dragon. We could probably have done that in beta, but for now, Gamma. And I placed down my extra flag. Looks awesome. Day 93, I decided I wanted to go tame myself another bat. I wanted to breed them. Yeah, I wanted myself a baby bat. You know, I've never seen a baby bat, and I want to share it with you. So that's what I did. Between day 93 and day 95, I went trying to tame one. And I did. I killed all the ones that I didn't want, and I managed to eventually find myself a high level one. And I was happy. I found myself a level 140 female. So I went back and I bred them. And on day 96, it hatched. Except it was the level 137. I was confused and I realized I had bred it with a level 68. I don't know how that happened. But on day 97, I then bred it with the correct female, and I got a level 180 Desmodus bat. I then named him Shadow, since it seemed pretty suiting, you know? I like that name. It's a good name for a bat. And I just waited the rest of the day for him to tame up. On day 98, he tamed. We got ourselves a imprinted bat, and this thing, it's way faster. I'm very glad that I did this. I kind of wish I'd done it sooner, because having an imprinted bat is, I guess, a lot more useful, but it's fine. On day 99, I was going to head into the new area to start the boss, but I quickly realized I didn't have my Rexes on me or anything to even start the boss, so I had to head back home and start again. I then came back and we tried again. And this time, we had a little explore around, and this place looks really cool. I actually really like it here. It gives me, like, aberration kind of vibes, but green, you know? It's really cool. It's very vibrant here. I like it. But anyway, important things to do. I began throwing out my Rexes at the boss arena. And, well, it's time. You know, excuse me? Okay. You know what? It's okay. We just keep throwing them out. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to make them all fit in here. We're going to make them all fit in here. Okay, every single one of them. Are they all in? Are they all in? Are they all... It looks like they're all in. We're ready. Okay. Let me ride my UT. Hello? Hello? Well, that's not good. Why can't I ride my UT? What's going on with that? It was just a bit glitched. What the fuck? What was that? Okay. Oh my god, what is this? Whoa! Okay. What is going on? I'm like getting pulled off my team and everything. Get him. Come on. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Kill him. We are frozen. This is not good. We're actually doing so much damage to him as well. He's oh. Oh! Oh my god, we actually did it. We killed him. We killed... Oh! We did it. We did it. We killed him, boys. Here we go. What do we get? We got a cryopod femora. We got a trophy. We got some element and a banner. Well, let's take a look at this thing. Oh my goodness. We got ourselves a Fjordur. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, look at this thing's mouth, dude. Look, this thing... It's like snarls, like... Oh, that gives you the chills. This is cool. Here we go. We got ourselves a Fjordur.